Tell you what I need for Christmas is a new chair. Hey Cake Chums, and welcome back to the Mr. Baker's Cakes kitchen. This week's video is the return of my annual top 10 gift ideas for cake decorators. Can we call it annual if it's only the second year? Now, long-time subscribers may recall that this time last year I put up a video sharing with you my top 10 picks for the ultimate Christmas gifts for the cake decorator in your life, or of course, for yourself. My plan is very much that you can either get some great ideas for how you can treat yourself this Christmas, or you can just show this video to your nearest and dearest and say, pick one of them. Now, last year's video very much had some kind of big ticket items that I think quite possibly could still stay at the top of people's wish lists this year as well. Things like the Agbe cake leveler, a sugar paste sheeter, and all of those sorts of things I'm sure are still top of many people's wish lists. However, I didn't want to repeat myself, and so I've tried to restrict this year's top 10 lists to products that have either come out during 2020 or have kind of become more well known in 2020. As with last year's video, I have tried to include a full range of budgets, and we're starting with things that are less than £10 and getting up to things that are well into the hundreds of pounds. And this year I also wanted to restrict it to things that I could have here in front of me to show you guys. Because it's all well and good putting up pictures, but half the problem with shopping online, like we're kind of stuck doing in 2020, is that you can't see it properly for yourself. Now, in the interest of full transparency, some of the things on the list this year I have bought with my own money, and some of the things in the list were gifted to me. I would like to point out that I did try to buy everything myself, but when I reached out to certain brands to find out about expedited shipping, because as usual I left things far too late, some of them were kind enough to offer to just send me things for free in return for me sharing them in this video. But I want to make it really clear that everything I'm going to show you today are things that I had chosen in advance. They're not in this video because they sent me product. To help make things nice and clear as well, I'll also pop up on the screen during the video which things I bought and which things were gifted. But anyway, we've got a lot to talk about and not very long to do it, so I suggest we better get to the video. Oh, and do make sure you stay tuned until the end of the video because I'm going to be announcing this year's Christmas giveaway. Okay, so first up on our list of top 10 gift ideas for cake decorators this year are the new Sprinkles I really can't say this. Sprinkles the Frenchy bundles from Molly's Creature Creator. Now, if you haven't seen these before, these are some extra bits and pieces that Molly Robbins has added to her Creature Creator line, and I think they make the absolute perfect gift idea this Christmas. Now, we've talked about it here on my channel before, but Molly's Creature Creator is a product that was designed by Molly Robbins, or Molly of Extreme Cake Makers, which looks like this, and it is essentially a high-quality silicone mold for baking ready carved cakes. If I take mine out, you can see this is the lying down mold, and in here you can bake two halves of cake that can then be sandwiched together to make the basic shape of an animal that is lying down. Since its launch, Molly has also added some creature feet to her collection, and this is essentially a frame that looks like this that you can put your Creature Creator shaped cake into, standing it on a cake board attached with these little feet, and then you can decorate it all as one to create a standing animal rather than a lying down one. Now, both the molds and the feet also come in a two-legged version so that you can have an animal or a person standing upright on two legs. And Molly has a whole host of tutorials for different characters you can create with the Creature Creator. This year saw Molly add Sprinkles the Frenchie to her lineup, and that's a whole series of tutorials featuring this adorable French bulldog dressed up as various little creatures. And you can also get plushie toys of Sprinkles the Frenchie dressed in these outfits too. Now, I bought this set myself because I'm desperate to have a go at creating Sprinkles the Llama, but the eagle-eyed amongst you might have noticed that he's been sat in my background now for probably a couple of months and I still haven't got round to him. but he's definitely on my list of things to do. And what I love about this tutorial, as well as the fact that you get this cute plushie that you can keep long after the cake is gone, it also incorporates using the creature feet as well, which I haven't yet used. Inside Molly's tutorial, it shows everything that you will need to recreate her cake and then step-by-step instructions so that you can make this project. The reason why I think this would make a fantastic Christmas gift for a cake decorator is it's an opportunity to have a go at a fully carved cake without any of the stress of actually carving. It incorporates the structure as well, so that you don't need to worry about that. And you get a 3D reference that you can use to help you with your cake making. I also think they're a really lovely idea for cakes for maybe grandchildren, because you can give them the cake and then you can also give them the plushie as well at the same time. And that's a lovely memory of their special cake, and they also get a cake of their new best friend. Now, to be clear, the gift I'm talking about today is just the bundle of the plushie and the tutorial. So if this is something you'd want to have a go at, you would also need to pick up your own creature creator and the feet as well. But I know that Molly does often have bundles over on her website. These two here will normally set you back about $9.99, but I do think they're on offer at the moment for only $7.99. So if you fancy picking them up, I wouldn't waste any time. Head over to Molly's website, which I'll link down in the video description, and pick up your Sprinkles the Frenchy tutorials. Item 2 on our list this year actually came from your suggestions. As always, before I film these videos, I put up a bit of a Q&A on my social media, all of which are linked down in the video description, by the way, asking what you had at the top of your Christmas list this year. And one of the suggestions that kept coming up were the brand new ransom letterpress alphabet craft cake molds from the old piping bag. Now, if you're not familiar with her already, the old piping bag is a manufacturer of high quality silicone molds that you can use for both cake design and crafts. Her ransom letterpress molds have literally just launched, and they allow you to create all sorts of intricate lettering on your cakes in the style of those old ransom notes, you know, the ones that were made from cutting different fonts out of newspapers. Now, the set contains 2 molds, one of which contains letters and one of which contains characters or punctuation. And each font features different letters in different fonts to make them truly mismatched and unusual. The set also contains molds for tiles so that you can back your letters and make them really stand out in your cake designs. Now, as you saw, mine are still in the packet. I haven't even had a play with them yet, but having used many molds from the old piping bag before, I can tell you already that the quality is going to be super high, and I'm really looking forward to having a go at using these in my own cake designs. Now, because I haven't used mine, I'm going to pop up some images from the old piping bag website so that you can see them in action for yourself. And if you fancy popping these in your Christmas stocking this year, they'll set you back just £16.95. You can order them directly from the old piping bag website, and once again, I'll pop the link for that down in the video description. Number 3 might seem a little bit self-serving, but if you can't promote your own products on your own YouTube channel, where can you? So next up on our list is my line of cake decorating and baking themed t-shirts. Now, if you didn't already know, I do have a line of merch, I guess is what the cool YouTubers call it. But essentially it is mainly t-shirts. We have a hoodie, there's some bags, but mainly cake decorating and baking themed t-shirts. They are all 100% original designs, created by me with a little bit of help from my other half. And as of this year, we have, I think, 14 original designs now. All of the ones I have are black because I like to wear black t-shirts on camera because I think they look visually effective. But we have designs such as the Lockdown Bakers Club, baking, chemistry you can eat, baking because it's cheaper than therapy, they see me rollin', they bakin', and all sorts of other designs, including, of course, our signature Cake Chums tee, and my personal favourite, which is dirty because I wear it all the time, Do You Even Sift, Bro? Now, my t-shirts come in a kind of standard unisex cut, or I do have a more feminine cut if you like your t-shirts a bit more form-fitting, and we do also have some designs specifically for young children as well. They retail for £20 each, and I have them manufactured by a company very close to me here on the South Coast, which is entirely committed to sustainability and being kind to the environment. That was one of the things that was really important to me when I was creating my line of t-shirts. And so simple things like making sure they use only fair trade sources of materials, making sure that their printing process is entirely self-contained so it doesn't release pollutants into the atmosphere or into the local environment. And I'm actually just super proud of them. So if you or the cake decorator in your life would like to show the world their love of baking and cake decorating with one of my signature teas, then do be sure to head down to the link in the description and pick up your favourite design. Which brings us on to item number 4. And if you know me at all, you'll know that I do love a good book. And so my top 10 gift ideas for cake decorators this year wouldn't have been right if it didn't include a book or two. Now there have been a couple of new releases in cake decorating books this year. I know that Lindy Smith has one tier party cakes, but I have to say the one that got me really excited was Making Sugar Models by Vicky Tether. Now I must confess that Vicky Tether is one of my best friends, which is one of the reasons why I was so excited about this book. But I have to say, she has produced an absolute masterpiece. In her new book, Making Sugar Models, Vicky has 15 amazing tutorials, and there are instructions on how to make 50 different characters out of modelling paste. Now Vicky is an incredibly talented cake artist, to the point that she has previously been crowned Cupcake Artist of the Year by Cake Masters magazine. She also won their Best Cover Award a couple of years ago, and I think last year was even announced as one of the top 10 cake decorators here in the UK. If you're somebody who loves creating cute and adorable models to adorn your cakes, then I would highly recommend that you pick up a copy of Vicky's brand new book, Making Sugar Models. The recommended retail price is £25, but when I searched online today, I managed to find it as cheap as £18.66, so it is worth shopping around a little bit. I also know that Vicky does sell copies directly on her website, and she'll even sign and personalise them for you as well. So again, if you fancy treating yourself to something a little bit more literary this Christmas, then you could do a lot worse than Making Sugar Models by Vicky Tether. Okay, so number 5 on our list is a little bit more complicated, because originally I was just going to feature one thing, and that is this. Now this is one of the many floating separators by a company called Prop Options. You may recall featured on my channel back, a while ago, when they released the Cake Compass. Now I talked about this in my What's New in Cake video, which I will link up in the top corner. But this was a gadget designed to help you when you're trying to cover dummy cakes using either buttercream or sugar paste. But that very much put Prop Options on my radar, and since then I've spent some time looking at their website trying to choose one thing that I thought would be a top gift idea for cake decorators. I've seen so many amazing artists use the incredible spacers by Prop Options to make some amazing cakes, and when I reached out to them to ask again about expedited shipping, because I left this too late, they told me that they had just launched the sidebar spacer, I think it's called, in white. So this is actually a brand new product just launching right now, and what you can do essentially is put this on a lower tier, this have a tier sat on top of it, and it's strong enough to support it, and then because it's in white, the sidebar kind of blends away, but you can of course also conceal that with sugar flowers or some form of foliage or anything really. Again, I'll see if I can pop up some pictures of people using the spacers on real cakes so that you can see what I mean. But I must confess, while I was over at the Prop Options website, I did treat myself to a couple of other bits as well. So technically the item on our list is the spacer or spacers, but while you're there you might want to have a look at their stands as well, because I might have picked up a couple of really gorgeous wooden rustic stands. There's also one back there somewhere, which I think would just be absolutely stunning for displaying kind of more rustic looking cakes. So whether that's ones with like the dried grasses and things that are really popular at the moment, or just proper traditional like buttercream finished home baking style cakes. Sticking just with our spacer, So long as this one is going to be selling for the same price as the metal finished one, this is £65, but I think you'll agree that there are no ends to the different amazing gravity defying cakes you could create with it. And if you've already used one in one of your cakes, then do be sure to let me know down in the comments, because I love them. I'm just in awe of them. I am sorry about my chair. But as I say, while you are on the Prop Options website, do be sure to check out their amazing range of stands and other spaces and all sorts of amazing products, because they are stunning and there is something to suit every budget is the word that I couldn't remember. Item number 6 on our list is something that I'm not overly familiar with, I'll be honest with you, but again, they are something that was suggested by a lot of you guys in your comments on my post over on social media. And that is the Petal Crafts Petal Dust Sets. Now, if you're as clueless as I was before I discovered these, they are essentially palettes of powder dust colours, or edible powder dust colours, used for dusting your flowers, but also models and what have you. But they come in pallets rather than individual pots. Now, the only place I've seen these sold here in the UK is at Zoe's Fancy Cakes, where unfortunately they are sold out at the moment. But they usually retail, I believe, for somewhere around £75 for the set of 3, but you can buy them individually as well. And amongst the 3 palettes, there is 1 shimmer palette and then 2 matte palettes. I totally feel like a beauty YouTuber right now. What's inside is a set of 24 different powder colours that you can use for dusting your sugar flowers and what have you. And they're all in these little pans. Now, of course, this does mean that you don't get as much as you would in a pot of powder colour, but as we all know with dust colours, a little does go an awfully long way. So I could see these lasting for quite some time. I know that Zoe from Zoe's Fancy Cakes is a big fan of these, and after seeing the buzz around them in her groups, I did have to pick them up and check them out for myself. I guess one of the big marketing points of these, as they say on the back of the packets in fact, is that there is little to no waste. Because of course, when we're using powder colours from pots, we tip them out, use them, and whatever we don't use generally goes in the bin. So that does seem like a really good plus point, and I know that a lot of people, particularly in the Zoe's Fancy Cakers Facebook group, are massive fans of these. So if you're someone who uses a lot of powder colours in your cake decorating, then it may well be worth you picking up a set of the Petal Crafts compressed powder colours. Now, the next must-have item on our top 10 list this year has to be one of the portable airbrush kits from PME. Now, you've seen this on my channel before because I picked mine up right at the start of the year. I think it's in my how to make a wood effect cake board. Might be how to make a stone effect cake board. It's in one of my how to make a cake board videos anyway. But it was actually right at the start of the year during my visit to PME HQ that they very kindly gave me one of these to play with. And at the time it was only sold in Lakeland stores. It's no longer exclusively to Lakeland, and so you can now buy them from most cake decorating retailers. But essentially what you've got here is your bog standard single action airbrush, but attached to a portable compressor. So you're no longer having to have the tubes and the wires and everything trailing around after you. Personally, I think this is absolutely amazing for live demonstrations, particularly at cake shows where power supplies can be an issue. Not that we've had any of those this year for me to test it out. But if you are after getting started in airbrushing and would just like a really simple single action airbrush to use, then as always, you can't go wrong with something from PME. In the kit, you get your compressor, which is the gold bit. You get your single action airbrush, which is this top bit here with a gravity feed cup, which comes with a lid. Don't underestimate the importance of that lid. And it also, of course, comes with a USB charging cable so that you can charge it up once you've used it. To go from a flat battery to a full charge, it takes about 90 minutes, and to be honest, I've only charged mine twice since, I think it was January, it might have been February. so a charge does last a good long while. The recommended retail price for the PME portable airbrush kit is £75, but again, when I looked online this morning, I did manage to find it as cheaply as £55. So once again, and as always, it is worth doing your homework and shopping around a bit before you decide to pick one up. But yes, number 7 on our list is the PME portable airbrush kit. Next on our list, I want to talk to you about a company that I am absolutely obsessed by. Bramble Sky are the manufacturers of those amazing kind of cake stands and backdrops and all those sorts of things that have just been all over your newsfeed this year. You've seen them there, that they do those big hoops with the beautiful flower arrangements on, they do those mesh backdrops, they do all sorts of really creative and incredible cake stands, and I personally am completely and utterly in love with the mesh style designs that they have. So much so that I picked up this bad boy only this week, and this is in fact the item that we were waiting for to film this video. There was no way I was going to do the video without this because I have been wanting one of these for so long I can't even remember. Now I could talk to you about so many things available from Bramble Sky, but instead it would be easier if you just go to their website and check them out because there are so many fantastic pieces there. And instead I'm just going to talk to you about this stand because first of all, can I just say, this is so heavy, which means it's going to be so incredibly strong. You could put an enormous cake on here. But in all seriousness, what I love about these is that kind of the juxtaposition of the kind of the rough industrial look of the metal mesh, but as in the case of mine, that really nice fun bubblegum pink colour. I think it would look amazing with so many different styles of cakes. And what I also love about them is the fact that because it is essentially the shape of a cake, you can also use it to add additional height to a wedding cake or a cake for an event that perhaps you don't need so much cake but you still want that statement centerpiece. In fact, you could even use a couple of these together as tiers and then put your cake on top of that as well, essentially giving you like a 4 or 5 tier cake but actually only having a couple of tiers be real cake. Now I've seen people do all sorts of fun things with these online, including decorating the mesh, putting things inside them, and I'm so looking forward to having a play with this one, and I can guarantee you now that once we've finished with all the Christmas content, this is going to be a permanent part of my backdrop. I just need to think of the perfect cake to go on top of it. Now, because so much of the stuff that Bramble Sky does is bespoke or very particular to your requirements, the prices of course can vary, but I think, I could be wrong, but I think this one here would be £80 usually, although I will confess that Kate very kindly did send me this one for free, so thank you so much, Kate. But in all seriousness guys, head over there, have a look, because you'll probably end up as obsessed as I am, and your Christmas wish list will be just pages and pages of things from Bramble Sky. So yes, number 8 on our wish list is the metal mesh effect cake stands from Bramble Sky. Now item number 9 is a really exciting item. One of the main reasons being that I haven't actually opened it yet. This is the first box in the brand new Sprinkle Club from Sunflower Bakery, which is a brand new subscription box service that they have launched to keep those of us that are truly obsessed with cake sprinkles up to speed on some of the latest releases in sprinkles. Now, if you're anything like me, you can never have too many cake sprinkles. But I seem to spend so much time looking at them online, but so rarely get around to actually picking them up. Those of you who watched my Halloween content back in October will know that I spent so long looking for the perfect Halloween sprinkle mix. But the brand new The Sprinkle Club from Sunflower Bakery will take all of the effort out of that, because they send you a box of assorted sprinkle mixes every single month. Now, the reason why this one is so late in the video isn't because the sprinkle boxes themselves are really expensive, but of course if you decided to give someone, say, a year's subscription, that cost would accrue. But you can also buy the boxes individually as well. They're available in 3 different sizes, a small being $18.99 a month, a medium being $23.99 a month, and a large being $33.99 a month. And because obviously I have that extra gene, we were going to have to check out the large. So, as I say, I haven't opened it yet. We're going to discover what's inside together, because part of the fun of a subscription box is you never know what you're going to get until it arrives. So, I think we better dig in. Okay, so inside we've got a lovely little note that says, share the sprinkle love, tag us in your creations. And there's a couple of little cards in here as well, sprinkle all the way, and some information about Sunflower Bakery. So I love their shop front, it's so stunning. And then in the box itself, we have got a mix called Super Streusel, which is a stunning kind of Christmassy festive mix. Hopefully you can see that. We've got some of the outbosses, which are like reverse embossers from Sweet Stamp. This one is themed for the Late Late Toy Show, which is a huge thing in Ireland. So the Late Late Toy Show is an annual event. It's probably on a par with like the Royal Variety performance, but that's quite cool as well. There's also some little cupcake toppers, which say ho 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 on them. Love these. There's another sprinkle mix here from Happy Sprinkles, which has got little reindeers and like tiny little dragées and stars. See if you can see that. There's another one here from Happy Sprinkles, which has got like pink hearts and snowflakes and things in it. Definitely feeling like a beauty YouTuber in this week's video. From Sweet Stamp again, we've got some of the Pixie Pearls, and this set's called Peppermint. These are good for if you're using things like the Sweet Stamp embossers, and I have a video about that as well. I'll put it up in the corner. You can use these to fill in your lettering. And then in their own, the Sprinkle Club branding, we've got some of these big, I never know what these are called. They're like giant sprinkles. Anyway, I'll show you. If you know what these are called, perhaps you can let me know down in the comments. Love these test tubes as well, they're just really cool and different. Oh, this one's nice, I like this. So this is like almost like a winter wonderland theme, mainly white with a little bit of silver and some pastel blue, purple and turquoise. Doesn't that look absolutely stunning? And then there's a really nice red and gold set with just a couple of other accent colours in here as well, again from Happy Sprinkles. And there's a lolly as well. How lovely. So for your, remind myself how much it was. So for your $33.99, we have got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 sprinkle mixes. We've got this Outboss, well it's not an embosser is it, it's the opposite. Outbosser from Sweet Stamp by Amy's Cakes. We've got the cupcake toppers that say ho ho ho. Hold them up again so you can see them properly. And we've got an extra little treat for me as well. I have to say, I love this. I don't know if personally I would get through enough sprinkles to justify having this many every single month. But if you are someone who does a lot of baking with sprinkles, if you do lots of drip cakes and loaded cakes and cupcakes with sprinkles and things like that, I definitely think this would be well worth the money and super fun as well. It definitely felt like Christmas just opening that box. But anyway, if you would like to check out subscriptions to the Sprinkle Club from Sunflower Bakery, again, head down to the video description and I will make sure the links that you need are there. Okay, and so all of that brings us to our final item, and as is now tradition, he says in the second year, this is going to be our big ticket item. And I'll be honest with you, I didn't even know this was a thing. So many of you know that I work with Kenwood, filming the Kenwood Kids Club, and as such I'm also a Kenwood brand ambassador. And so when they heard that I was filming this video, this top 10 gift ideas for cake decorators, they asked if I would like to feature the Kenwood Patissier. Now, if you haven't heard of the Kenwood Titanium Chef Patissier XL stand mixer, it's not the shortest name, then this is a brand new stand mixer that came out this year, specifically designed for people who work in pastry. And they sent me one. It's quite a big box. Now basically, as I say, it's designed for people who work in pastry, and therefore it has much more additional functionality than your basic stand mixer. It comes with a 7-litre easy warm bowl, which you can use to prove dough, you can use it to melt chocolate, anything that you want to heat essentially. It has built-in weighing scales, either in the main bowl or in fact anywhere on the mixer at all. So whether you're using an attachment or even if you just sit a bowl on top of it, you can use it as weighing scales. It has an intuitive touchscreen control panel, which you can use to choose between 6 simple touch preset functions, including dough proving and chocolate melting. It comes with many of the things that you would expect from a Kenwood mixer, so the dough hook, the standard K-beater, the whisk, and also, I believe for the first time on a Kenwood mixer, the flexi beater as well, so the one with the kind of the rubber paddles on the side that I use for absolutely everything. It's also got the built-in lights, it's got a 1400 watt motor, and to be honest guys, I think it's going to be absolutely amazing. It's going to be game-changing for those of us who like to make our own fillings, make our own tempered chocolate creations, and so on and so forth. Now, of course, I can't speak knowledgeably about this mixer yet because it literally arrived the day before yesterday, and I haven't even taken it out of the box yet, but I am planning on shooting a few videos as we move into January or the new year, where I'm basically going to put it to the test and see whether it can, for example, help me make curd without having to stand and whisk over a double boiler, whether it can help me make Swiss meringue buttercream without having to do the whole bit at the stove and then into the mixer, whether I will find it easier to temper chocolate because I'm so hit and miss with tempering chocolate, how it is making bread, how it is making enriched doughs for kind of sweet dough-based items. To be honest, I'm really excited about opening up and having a play. But yes, as I say, this came out this year, so it is a brand new product, and I believe it's on sale in most kind of like major electronics retailers for around about £750. I'm sure I've seen it in John Lewis for slightly less than that at the moment, so it might be worth, again, doing a bit of research, shopping around, if you think that that's something that you would make use of in your caking. Now, I'm sure some of you are sat there thinking, I haven't got £750 to spend, and that's fair enough, but I do always like to have that one big ticket item, just because you never know. There might be somebody out there who wants to buy you something really expensive and really gorgeous. So that was the Kenwood Titanium Chef Patissier XL Stand Mixer. And yes, I totally read that from the box, because it's such a long name, I can't even remember it in the right order. But there you go guys, that was my top 10 gift ideas for Cake Decorators 2020. What did you think? Is there anything on that list that you're thinking, yeah, that's definitely going straight to the top of my Christmas list? Or do you think that I've missed something that came out this year that should be on the list? Either way, make sure you head down to the comments and let me know. Of course, this list is just based on the things that I've seen are out there, and I may well have missed something. Now, before we wrap things up, this would not be a Mr. Baker's Cakes Christmas list video without a little giveaway. Now, much as I would love to give away everything that I have featured in this video, I'm not made of money, guys, and also I think Kenwood would not be impressed if I gave away the mixer. But I am going to be giving away some of the items that I've shown you today, including a copy of Making Sugar Models by Vicky Tether. This was kindly sent to me by Squire's Kitchen just to give away to one of you guys, so thank you to them for that. One of the aforementioned bundles of tutorial and plushie toy from Molly's Creature Creator for Sprinkles the Flamingo. I must make it really clear, it is only the tutorial and the plushie toy, so you will need to source your own Molly's Creature Creator kit if you don't already have one. A selection of some of the bits from the Sprinkle subscription box. I am keeping some of them, but in there will be the Outboss embosser thing that I'm really struggling to explain. I might just show it to you. So So instead of pushing into the icing, the icing goes into this bit and then leaves you with a raised impression on your topper. Does that make more sense? I hope it does. Anyway, that's going to be in there, and 3 of the sprinkles mixes. So the pink one with the hearts and the gingerbread men and things, the red and gold one, and the pixie pals from Sweet Stamp. And you will also be able to choose one of the Mr. Baker's Cakes t-shirts from my website, but I'm gonna leave that completely open to you. You can choose the design, the style, the color, and so the winner, when they get in touch with me, can just have a look at the website, decide which one they want, and let me know. But yes, so that is our top 10 gift ideas for Cake Decorators giveaway 2020. So to win the book, to win the Sprinkles the Flamingo tutorial set, to win the selection of sprinkles, and to win a t-shirt. And all you need to do to enter this year's giveaway is comment down below which one of my top 10 items you would love to find under the Christmas tree on Christmas morning. There are very few rules. You just need to make sure that you are subscribed to Mr. Baker's Cakes here on YouTube, and you must make sure that you come back and watch next week's video, because that's when I'll be announcing the winner. And if you miss that you've won, you then won't be able to claim your prize in time for Christmas. So yes, if you fancy getting your hands on these goodies here, make sure, pop your comment down below, and make sure you've hit that big red subscribe button before you go. As always, if you did enjoy this video and would like to see more videos kind of like this, and also kind of like other things, then again, do make sure you hit that big red subscribe button, and if you click on the bell icon, that will make sure you get a notification of every time I upload a new video, which I generally do every Sunday in the morning, generally. As always, please also do give the video a thumbs up, because that tells YouTube to show it to more people. And yeah, I guess that's essentially it. So, I do hope you're staying safe. I hope the Christmas prep is going well, and I will see you at the same time next week for another video. Until then, take care, guys.